Hi, my name is Gurmeet Manku, and this is an interesting video, and we will explore what parts of India already have 30% or more obesity. Okay, so obesity was defined as a disease by WHO in 1997 in a landmark publication. Here is a publication, and they said obesity is BMI more than or equal to 30. But this criteria was developed by studying worldwide populations in aggregate. But we have so many different populations, there is so much variation. So is there a provision for region-specific guidelines? The answer is yes. And Indian scientists, in a publication right here, Consensus Statement for Diagnosis of Obesity and more stuff, it's by a group of authors, it's by a team in this journal, right? Obesity is defined as BMI more than 25 for India by Indian scientists. So I will use this criteria for the rest of this presentation. So let's see, how many Indians are obese using the criteria BMI more than 25 defined by Indian scientists as criteria for obesity. Okay, so this is a BBC News report. They said 23 to 24% of men and women have BMI more than 25 according to these NFHS surveys which are by Government of India. But as I just told you, right, the Indian scientists say that this is the criteria for obesity for India. Okay, so 23 to 24% of Indian population is already obese if you use the Indian criteria. Okay, now projections. 40% of men and women will have BMI more than 25 by 2040. Okay, that's alarming. But wait a minute. Okay, I'll show you in a moment. Some parts of India are already there. Okay, some parts of India are already at 35, 40 and even more percentage of people have crossed this threshold. Let's see which populations. Okay, so this is 1990, this is 2016, and you can kind of see, there are some parts of India shown in yellow. That yellow is 14% to 19% people have crossed BMI more than 25. But if we fast forward 26 years, in 2016, we can see some red colored parts, right? So red is more than 29% people have crossed this threshold. Okay. Now, NHFS survey is actually online. We can plot data by just inspecting that PDF file. So here are some interesting statistics. So if you go from rural to urban, rural 20% and urban 30 to 33% of the population has exceeded this threshold. Okay, let's look at age. As we get older, more and more people have crossed the threshold. So look at 40s. If you have 40s, 33 to 37% of the people have BMI more than 25. Okay. Now let's look at wealth quintiles. So wealth quintile is, we look at the entire population that was surveyed. We divide them by wealth. So the lowest 20% of the population is the lowest quintile. 10% obesity. But look at the top 20% by wealth. In that population group, we are at 37 to 39%, almost 40%. Okay. So do you see what's going on? Okay. We can look at different parts of India, like northern regions. What are the numbers I see here? 30, 34, including 40 and 44. I see 44 also somewhere, right? Central parts of India, eastern parts of India. You can just inspect what the numbers look like. This is southern parts of India. We can see a lot of 30, 37. I see 46 somewhere. Okay. This is western regions of India, northeast. Okay. On the whole, what's going on is, even though the average is 22, some parts of India are like 10, 11, 12, 13%, but some parts of India are 37, 40, even 44%, right? Some parts of India are already there. So this is the last part of my presentation. My concern is that, as we get wealthy, for example, right, then our social circle tends to be similar people, right? Our family, siblings, our friends at work. So we kind of socialize with similar people, right, who are equally wealthy or in the same wealth bucket. Now, if we meet them regularly and that's all we meet, then we might start thinking it's normal to be like that, and that's what I'm calling normalization, or even desirable to be like that. So that's my concern. I hope we are not normalizing this look, this idea of being overweight or obese. Let me show you something. Let me share something with you from my own personal life. So when I was in undergraduate days, right, I kind of remember I used to be 64 kilos. So I was at IIT Delhi in those days. So 64 kilos is 140 pounds. So I moved to USA. In those days, I remember I used to think that I'm very skinny, okay, and that I should have some more weight. Okay, now I was not thinking I want to be muscular like Virat Kohli. I just wanted to have more weight on my body. Okay, so now why was I thinking like that? Today, when I look at all those height weight charts and BMI criteria, I was just fine. Okay, there was no problem. I was not diseased. I was not like falling apart. I was just fine. I was active. I had no disease. But still I was thinking, I'm skinny. I should put on weight. So why was I getting these ideas? Okay. And when I came to USA, I did start putting on weight subconsciously. It was not like a explicit goal of mine, but I was putting on weight. At some point, when some belly emerged, I never had a belly in my entire life until that time. My friends noticed and they said, "Oh, you have a belly now." Then I remember I put my hand on my belly and I said something like, "It's okay. It's a sign of prosperity." Okay. And we have this phrase in India, "Khate pite ghar ke lagte ho," right? It says, "Looks like you're from a well-nourished family." So now, why was I saying this, and why do we have this phrase? What was going on in my mind? So my understanding is, so I grew up in India in 1970s and 80s, right? So in those days, many parts of India were quite poor, right? And people didn't have enough food to eat. That's true even today also. Many parts of India, many sections of populations are below poverty line. Not enough food to eat. Malnutrition is going on. So, just having enough food to eat is a luxury. So from that standpoint, if somebody looks a little extra weight, it's an indicator that these people have enough food to eat. So it's a desirable state, right? And people kind of look at you with respect. Oh, these people have resources. So my understanding is that was what was playing in my mind, that it's a desirable look to be overweight because it's kind of a social indicator that we have enough resources, we have enough food to eat, that kind of a thing. But my concern is being overweight or obese, I hope we don't start normalizing it or make it desirable, because if you look at the actual data, being overweight, being obese is a stepping stone to many, many health problems. Okay, we really should be normal looking. And I still, I still don't know why I thought I was not normal, okay, in those days. Okay, I just thought I'll share my personal story with you, and I hope you find it interesting. And here's a website I'm building, Thankful to Plants. I'm sharing interesting piece of information. Some videos I'm making. If you like these videos, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much.